welcome back to the Mighty Blues. My name is of course Cameron again, and today we're going to be discussing the squad depth in the current Everton squad and whether I believe Marco Silva and Marcel Brands have maybe left themselves a little bit shy of players for this season. Now, it's no hiding the fact that Everton needed to get rid of a lot of players at the start of this season. There's a lot of players in the starting team, there's a lot of players in the squad that were picking up a wage and really not earning it. Players that were just not good enough for the team and that we really needed to ship out, if not on a permanent transfer, on loan. Now, put a list up there of the 14 players that have currently gone out on loan. Now, I haven't included the players that have left on permanent transfers, obviously, because we can't bring them back. But in terms of the players on loan, you're looking at the likes of Yannick Bolasie, Kevin Morales, Nikola Vlasic, Ashley Williams, Cuco Martina. They were all players that featured heavily last season. Maybe not Kevin Morales, but the others featured heavily in the starting 11. And then you've got younger players, your Callum Connolly's, Luke Garbutt's, Matthew Pennington, sort of players like that have also gone out on loan for a little bit of experience. Now, I suppose the question is, at the start of the season, although this dead wood needed to be moved because they really weren't earning what their wage and they really weren't good enough for this club, was it necessarily to get rid of everyone and not replace them in a way? Not replace them as sort of because they were vital to the squad, but just replace the numbers to ensure that we've got a squad there that can compete for every Premier League game as well as the cup games. Now, obviously, I'm not saying that Ashley Williams had come back and get in our team. He wouldn't. He's nowhere near good enough. He's probably our 9th centre-back in the ranking. But in terms of centre-backs this season, we've already seen a lack of, and we've already seen a need for centre-halves in the first 4 games this season. Obviously, we haven't seen Yerry Mina yet. We've seen Zuma and Holgate prominently this season, and then the likes of Jagielka and Michael Keane have both had injuries. So that doesn't leave a centre-back. That doesn't leave a centre-back to come in. If in the last few games, obviously I know it didn't happen and it's an if, but if in the last few games one of Holgate or Zuma would have got injured and Mina wasn't ready to step in, Jags obviously was injured and suspended and Michael Keane's had that big injury as well, who would have stepped in? It would have had to be in someone from the under-23s. Now that's the question really, I suppose. It was a necessity to get rid of the dead wood at the start of the season, and just shows how much dead wood we actually had in the team and how many players that just weren't cutting it were in and around the starting 11 that needed to be getting rid of. Now obviously we'd have had to dip into the under-23s, I dare say, or brought a player back off loan. Obviously I've just showed up there, we've got Matthew Pennington who plays centre-back, who is on loan, as well as obviously we know Ashley Williams and stuff like that. But in terms of if Zuma or Holgate was to get injured or sent off in the upcoming game against West Ham and Mina wasn't ready to step in yet, as would be Jags or Michael Keane, then we would have to dip into that under-23s, and you're looking at a sort of a Matthew Folds, a Brendan Galloway, who we know, but especially Brendan Galloway, has had first team experience before. It would have to be one of them stepping in. Now in terms of attacking options, we're looking quite set. We've got the likes of Bernard to still come in, we've obviously got Richarlison, Theo Walcott, Cenk Tosun, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Umar Niasse. We've got players there, and then we've got, as I say, Nikola Vlasic on loan if we need to bring back, and then the likes of Kevin Morales as well. I don't think we'll see Kevin Morales play for Everton this season. In fact, I'd be surprised if we see Kevin Morales play for Everton again. But we've got him there as an option to come back. But I think attacking wise we should be okay. It is just that defence. Obviously we've got Callum Connolly on loan as well. Another defender that I think he played right back for the team before, for the first team. Again, right back is a place that we really do need to cover. Seamus Coleman's had injuries before and is, wouldn't be surprised if he got injured again. So I think that right back is definitely a position that we need to be looking at in January to bring in some cover. Obviously we've covered left back with Luca Digne and Leighton Baines as well, but it wouldn't harm to get us another one in. And I do think with the fact that we've obviously we've taken 2 centre-halves out the running for starting 11, if you like, with obviously Ashley Williams and Matthew Pennington gone on loan. We've also sold Funes Mori. It does leave us with sort of, I know we've got Keane, Jagielka, Mina, Holgate, Zuma, which is 5, which on paper is enough. But when you've got Michael Keane, who's already sustained quite a hefty injury this year, when you've got Jagielka, who's already been suspended and sustained an injury, and then obviously Mina's not quite up to fitness yet, and Holgate and Zuma are the only 2 centre-half that can feature really in the first team, you're all looking at sort of a dangerous path that if one of them gets injured at the minute, you're looking at dipping into them under-23s. Not saying that the under-23s aren't good enough, but it would obviously be massive pressure on them players to come in and step up to the mark. In terms of midfield, obviously we've got Morgan Schneiderlin, Idrissa Gueye, we've got Andre Gomez to come in, we've got Tom Davies as well to come to play. Obviously Tom Davies been getting a lot of stick in amongst Everton fans recently. I've seen a couple of videos on, you know, the other Everton fan channels discussing that. I was going to make a video discussing that, but obviously as they've discussed it, I'm sure you have your own opinion. I will mention it in an upcoming video about captaincy as well, what I think of Tom Davies and where I think he's at the minute. But I think there's a sort of an expectation with Tom Davies, and I think he said that when he scored that goal against Manchester City. A lot of our fans expect him to be performing at the highest level every game, and expect him to be putting in performances like he did against Man City every single week, and that's just not viable. That's just not going to happen. Let's be honest, he was coming in, it was one of his first games, he was full of confidence, he had nothing to lose, he was playing a sort of a Man City team that we've snuffed out, we knew how to beat him, and he come in his element and he really performed. But to expect that from a 20-year-old lad who's already in his third season of Premier League football at 20 years old, it's a lot to expect. And I think people are starting to get on Tom Davies' back. But what you've got to look at is, obviously, we know Morgan Schneiderlin's got an injury record, and it's possible that he could get injured. Garner Gueye, obviously, is usually a consistent player, doesn't get many injuries, but anything can happen. So Tom Davies is the only player that can step in at the minute, so there's no point in getting on his back at all. I don't see the point in getting on his back, saying he's not good enough. He shouldn't be in the team, he shouldn't be this. Well, who comes in? If it's not Tom Davies, who comes in? Because Benny Beningame is on crutches, injured at the minute. And like I say, the other midfielders, we've got 3 midfielders there. 4 when Andre Gomez comes in, that could play. But if any one of them gets injured, we play with 2 centre defensive midfielders, so Tom Davies would have to come in, unless you're sort of going to mould Kieran Dowell or Sigurdsson into a defensive position, which isn't worth it. Tom Davies, what you think of him or not, he's a fantastic footballer. He mightn't be in good form this season, and he might have performed particularly well this season, but he's a good footballer and he can fill that space, certainly to a job where it wouldn't require sort of fitting an attacking player into that position just to sort of get somebody in there. Davies can do that role for me. So yeah, in terms of squad depth, I do think in terms of attackers we should be okay this season. We should have enough of an attacking force to not have to delve into that under 23s or to not bring any players back from loan. Midfield, again, I think the same. I think we've got enough midfielders there that can cover. Obviously we only play with 2 defensive midfielders. We've got Bernard and Sigurdsson that can play in the attacking role. Also Kieran Dowell that hasn't gone out on loan, which is really positive to see this season. In terms of defence, I do think that's probably the position that we're going to struggle with, if any. I would say, really, on paper, we've got 5 centre-backs. We've got Zuma, Mina, Holgate, Jags and Michael Keane. And I would say that usually that would be enough to keep us going, but just in the first 4 games of the season, we've already seen Mina not feature because of fitness, which is fair enough. And obviously, Jagielka suspended and injured, and Michael Keane sustained quite a hefty injury as well, which does just leave the 2 defenders there that are going to play week in, week out, are going to inevitably need a rest, and maybe even might pick up an injury. So it is a little bit of a worry for me. Let me know if it's a worry for you in the comment section down below. Obviously, I mentioned right back before, we've obviously got Callum Connolly that can come in, Tyus Brown and can come in as well and do a job in that position. Do I think we'll need cover for that? I think we'll probably be looking at a right back in January, if I'm being honest, to come in and help Seamus Coleman. I think there's going to be a lot of pressure on Seamus Coleman this season because I personally think he's going to take the armband a lot more than Jags and Baines. But again, I'm going to be making another video on that in the next coming days, so you guys will get to see my opinion on that. Left back, I think is covered. I think you're going to get a pretty solid season out of Lucas Digne. I don't think we're going to see many injuries, touch wood, and Leighton Baines as well will be able to get in there and get his rests when needed. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. They are my thoughts. Obviously, like I said, I think we should be alright for the attacking and midfield option. It is just them defenders that I am a little bit worried about, and I suspect that Marcel Brands and Marco Silva will be in the market for a few more centre-halves in the summer, in January, sorry, as well as a right-back cover as well. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think, like me, that we've been a little bit short? Obviously, I understand that there was a lot of dead wood in the squad. I think the majority of our squad was made up of players that sort of weren't good enough to play for Everton last season, and that was obviously reflected in the way that we played last season. And I understand that them players did need to be shifted and did need to be moved to make way for new players coming in. But like I said, I do think that obviously it's just a little bit scary with the injuries and the suspension that we've had in these defensive positions this season, that we may be looking at delving into them under 23s or bringing back the Matthew Penningtons that are on loan to sort of fill that position in. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. Do you think that we should be okay for this season? Do you think that it's a little bit of a worry, obviously, with the centre-half position, a little bit like me? Do you think that it was absolutely vital that we got rid of that Deadwood. I do as well. I believe that the likes of Morales, Ashley Williams, Yannick Bolasie needed to go because they weren't going to feature this season, and the types of egos that them players bring, if they're not featuring week in, week out, they're going to set a nasty tone in the dressing room, and I think it was important to get them out the door and to make ways for sort of fresh players, new players, and players that want to play for the football club as well. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Thank you very much for watching. As always, thank you very much for the support on the recent videos. It's been absolutely amazing. I can't thank you enough. I will be coming at you on Wednesday with another video again, like I said before, about talking about the captaincies, the 3 potential captains. Obviously you got Baines, Jags and Coleman, who I think is going to take the armband the most this season, what I think Marco Silva will do versus what I think what I think would be good for Marco Silva to do, and just obviously talking about that and talking about the captaincy and how important it is to Everton players and how important it is to Everton fans who is the captain and who is representing our football club. So thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, do leave a like. If you want to see more content on the Mighty Blues, then don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time on the Mighty Blues. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.